welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Abhilasha Sharma and you're watching gupshupwithabhilasha, a show where I talk to people and listen to their stories. Well, आज के हमारे एपिसोड में हम किसी की स्टोरी नहीं सुन रहे हैं, बट आई हैव समवन विद whom we are going to discuss a very important topic which is mental health. और हम सबको पता है कि mental health आज के टाइम में कितनी ज़्यादा important हो गई है. जितनी important आपकी फिजिकल हेल्थ या आपकी इमोशनल हेल्थ है, उतनी ही important आपकी मेंटल हेल्थ हो गई है आपकी गुड लिविंग के लिए. फिर भी कहीं ना कहीं हम लोग या तो उसको इग्नोर कर देते हैं या हम शायद समझ नहीं पाते कि उसकी इम्पोर्टेंस क्या है. तो आज मेरे साथ एक ऐसे गेस्ट हैं जो हमसे इसी बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे. हर नेम इज़ रिचा सैनी एंड शी इज़ गोइंग टू जॉइन अस वेरी सून एंड डिस्कस विद अस अबाउट द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ मेंटल हेल्थ. सो विदाउट एनी मोर ब्लाबरिंग आई कॉल हर इन एंड लेट्स डाइव राइट इनटू द वीडियो. Hi Richa, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi Abhilasha, thank you so much for having me.
It's a privilege to have you here. I think that let's dive right into the questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my first question is that you are pretty much related to internet, right? You have your own Instagram page and then you have your YouTube channel where you're talking about mental health and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think that there are a lot of people who don't understand the concept of mental health properly. So for them, can you quickly tell us what is mental health and why is it so much important?
So see, mental health is what we feel like is mental health is how we see ourselves, right? How we are taking care of ourselves. Health is not just about physical health, right? Because we all know that whenever something happens, whenever we are suffering from a disease, it doesn't only have an impact on our body, but it also has an impact on our mind, right? So our mind and body both are connected, and mental health is the concept which studies our mind and which focuses on how to keep our mind healthy.
Do you think lockdown pandemic has worsened the situation of mental health?
Yes, absolutely. Earlier, we were not, used to this environment of staying home. It was very unnatural to it was very unnatural for us to stay at home and be with our family all the time, because people are so used to going out and spending time with other people and going to college and learning and seeing so many other people that it has left a very drastic impact on people's lives. Also, during this pandemic, people have lost so many of their closed ones, and which has severely impacted their mental health. So I feel like yes, mental health has really impacted people's lives, because we see around us that we are all the time in our homes. We just have one outlet, that is social media or our phones, and we just don't get enough time for our self-care, because we are just so deprived of actual interaction, actual social interaction. So I feel like yes, it has led to a drastic impact, and it has led to a lot of anxiety also about our future.
Okay. So like I earlier said that you are pretty much related to internet. You are, creating awareness from your Instagram page. So why Instagram? Do you think that online platform much more viable when it comes to spreading awareness about something? Or do you still think that organizing camps or organizing workshops like it used to be before lockdown, of course, was better version?
I feel like online is a better option for many people, because I think that nowadays it's not like that nobody has a phone. I think each and every person has a phone, whether it is any of our family member, right? Our parents have phones, everyone is on social media. We see from teachers to our parents to, because everyone's business run in an online form. We need to be online to, sell products. We need to be online to sell our presence. So I feel like it is very important that we have shifted to a change in spreading information online, because that's how we can reach more people and we can reach our target audience, to people who really want to know about mental health. Earlier what happened was only those people who were interested in mental health used to enroll in these workshops, used to go in these camps voluntarily. But now, because of the algorithm system and feed system, even those people who have never heard about this are notified that mental health awareness exists, and this is what you are feeling, and this is how you can take care of yourself. So I think that online is a much better way of spreading awareness and health, rather than that offline way.
Right. So, see, what I have noticed is that most people who are using these social platforms are the people from age group, say 15 to 25, teenagers and the young adults. And from my research, I've also realized that most people who are, battling these sorts of mental illness, maybe anxiety, depression, ADHD, bipolar, or whatever, are mostly people who are in their teenager or who are young adults. Maybe the triggering point for their mental illness, it starts very young, which is in our teenage mostly. So do you feel that when parents don't realize that this is a problem, that problem gets bigger and bigger and bigger, और जब by the time वो लोग 25-30 के होते हैं, वो इतना ज़्यादा डिप्रेस हो चुके होते हैं कि उनके लिए हमारे पास भी कोई solution नहीं बचता.
Actually, the thing is that you're very right in that parents don't take these things seriously because they feel like that they have also gone through the same emotions, they have gone through the same age, and they feel like that it is very normal to feel some feelings over the course of time. And because most of the parents are working these days, they don't get enough time to cater to their child's needs and to actually know that what is happening in their life and what they're actually going through. And even because of social media and because of all this online culture, even the children don't open up that well, the way they used to before. They keep it in themselves, because once they used to think that I will approach my parents, but they automatically assume that that will be their reaction. And maybe they tried to get help once and they got rejected and they never spoke up about that again. So that's it. That's the thing that works in our life, that children don't ask for help anymore, and then parents are overworking, they don't get to spend time with their children that often, and that is why there's a lack of awareness, and they feel like that it is very normal for my child to go through that, because nowadays everyone is talking about depression, everyone is talking about mental health illness, all of that, and maybe my child got influenced by all this news and this is not real. Right. So I feel like that they should also be made aware about these mental health resources and all the symptoms, and how to help their child get through, to also teach parents how to do parenting. And I think that it has already begun, that people before having a child, they take these things, they learn about these things, that how to actually do good parenting nowadays. That's what's happening, and I feel like that will bring a lot of change, because that way they will also understand that yes, mental health also matters, and my child needs me, and what I can do to become a better parent. So I think that mental health is not exclusive only for teenagers or young adults. It is also important for parents and older generation as well, so that both the generations can understand each other.
True. So what do you think as a society, as a whole, what you can do to create the awareness that if somebody around me is coming and telling me that I'm not feeling okay or I'm not feeling myself for quite some time, what should be my first instinct to do something for them? What is that one thing that I must do to them before I take them to somewhere where help can be provided?
So the first thing is to make your home a safe space. I know it is very easy to say that, because most of the people have dysfunctional families, and people come from families where people don't understand them. But you need to have one person in your life that can understand you, whether it is from your family, whether it is your very close friend, whether it is your partner. You need to have one certain person in your life with whom you can share everything, and that person can actually guide you what is right for you or not. So I think that we as a society can obviously promote open space, safe space for people to vent and to actually respect their wishes. We can evolve as people, that if someone is sharing their struggles even on social media, we don't call that behavior as it attention seeking, and we don't call out people and we don't hate on people. Then as a society we can actually help people so that they can go and take help for what they really are going through.
I have also seen this one thing, that since anxiety and depression are two words which are commonly used these days, some people are actually using it correctly, while some are just using it to create a false narrative. Maybe they're just having a bad day, but they'll just say, I am depressed, I am having anxiety. Do you think that they are actually mocking the people who are actually suffering from all these problems in real life?
No, no, no. I don't feel that way at all. I feel like that every person has a right to express what they are feeling, and just because they don't know how to use those correct words and they are confused how to label what they are feeling, I don't feel like they are mocking anyone, because they are trying to figure out. And just because someone had a bad day and they are feeling depressed, that means they are feeling depressed. We do not have to invalidate people by saying that, you just had a bad day. What's the big deal about it? Okay. And just because someone is saying that they are depressed, it doesn't mean they are saying that they are diagnosed with clinical depression, right? There's a difference, and there's a difference in the intensity and the duration of a disorder. Everyone can have a normal anxiety, and that doesn't mean that they have an anxiety disorder. So I have normal anxiety. I think that anxiety pushes us to keep us ahead of our time, and complete our tasks on time. Everyone has stress, everyone has these negative emotions, everyone can have depression at some point of the time, but it doesn't mean that everyone whatever everyone's feeling is supposed to be a disorder or a clinical thing that they need help for. Okay, so I feel like it is pretty normal, and it is okay for people to say what they want to say.
Okay. I also want to know that, let's say somebody is having a panic attack or anxiety attack in front of me. So what am I supposed to do? Because we know that mental awareness is still in the progress. We are still trying to understand it. And as a layman, as an individual, I don't know what I'm supposed to do when one of my friends or even someone in my family is having an anxiety attack. So what should I do? I mean, obviously, hearing them out might help, but it can't always help. So what is another thing that could help them?
If you are at your home and someone is having an attack, so what you can do is you can bring some ice and give them that ice to hold it in their palm, and they can watch that ice to flow away, and they will come back to their present reality. So what happens when we are in an attack is that we feel that everything is blowing up around us. Okay, and we don't feel like we are not in our reality. So what we need to do as individuals is to bring them back. Okay, so if someone is having an attack and you're outside, you're not in your home, and you cannot grab that ice, you can hold them very tightly, and then leave them to relax their muscles and to tighten their muscles, so that they can come back to their reality, that okay, I'm not just alone in my thoughts. Something is happening in my body, and I feel like I'm coming back to my reality. That is all we can do at that point of time. Okay.
Okay. So you talked about clinical depression, right? So how important is it to get yourself checked whenever you're if you're not feeling fine for quite some time? How important it is to get yourself checked, or get yourself to visit a doctor and get the right help at the right moment?
Okay. So, first of all, if a person is feeling really, really sad and hopeless, and having suicidal thoughts for like about a few weeks, and they are not talking to anyone about it, so of course they need to go to a psychiatrist. They need to get tested that whether whatever they are feeling is right or not. Because but the thing is, if they are not sharing with someone, nobody is going to able to help them out. Okay, so it is our responsibility as individuals that we notice those signs, that what is happening. There's a change in that person that used to be so happy and lively, and suddenly they are behaving in this manner. Something something is wrong, and we as individuals have this responsibility to get them the right help and to make them aware that something is different, something is not going right in your life. So tell me about it, share it with me, and if you cannot share it with me, so I will help you out in some other way. So because of course, if a person is depressed, they don't have that kind of awareness. So we as individuals outside, we need to make them aware that this is what is missing in your life, this is what is different in your life, and you should seek help.
Where can a person seek that help? Who should we go to if I know somebody who is depressed, or I know there are certain changes, but they are not letting me in, they are not letting me help, and only because they are not realizing that something is wrong with them. But after some time, let's say that they realize that something is wrong. So whom should they approach to?
Okay, after that, if they are not comfortable with talking to anyone, then they need space. Okay, we cannot just force them, and because that is of no use, right? We can of course contact their parents and ask for their help if they understand, but that's the least thing we can do, because that's only the one thing that we can do, because we cannot force someone. Parents can of course tell their child, right, that you need help and you need to go, you need to go, you need to go, and they will listen, because family is something that people usually listen to, right? And apart from that, the help that you're saying, that how they can get help is, there are there are a lot of government hospitals where this help is available in a very affordable and cheap price. There are good psychologists that you will find all over social media. You can find a psychology student, and they must have contacts of psychologists and therapists around them, because nowadays, as mental health is getting more and more inclusive in social media, most of the therapists and psychologists are on social media available to help. Okay, so there are a lot of resources from where that person can get help. You just need to take that step to ask for help.
Okay. Thank you for that information. And lastly, before we wind up, I just want to ask you this one question: that there is still this thought process amongst people, still this myth that if somebody is going to a psychologist or somebody is depressed, people tend to say कि आप पागल हो, तो इसका तो दिमाग खराब हो गया है, या ऐसी चीजें. So how wrong is that?
Of course, it is very wrong, but I don't really blame stupid people for their stupidity. Because there are all kinds of people, and just because someone is saying something doesn't mean we have to take it to our heart. So we don't have to listen to that, right? But we cannot change people's opinions by explaining them. We have to create a community where people who really want to invest in their mental health, who really want to make themselves aware, we have to focus on those people. We cannot change stupid people with their opinions, and I don't blame them, because they are conditioned in that way, and I don't think that every person can change unless they really want to change.
Yeah. Now, before you go, is there any tip that you would like to give to somebody who's watching this video, and for someone who wants to help somebody, or someone who's themselves going through a rough phase in their life, one tip which you think that will help them?
Okay. So the one thing I want to tell you all guys is that, guys, please don't hesitate to seek help. Even if you did not receive help in the first place, it is okay to try again. Life is not about giving up. Life is about getting yourself back up and trying again. All right.
Thank you so much, Richa, for that information, having this conversation with me. I'm going to link Richa's Instagram and YouTube in my description. You should go check her out. She's doing an amazing job. And if you ever need help, you can always reach out to her. She'll be there for you, right?
Yeah, absolutely, guys.